everyone, I'm Laura Gale Locke with your City 7 News Now update. Well, over the past few days, Oklahoma has experienced at least 3 earthquakes that we know of, and so we brought in Wichita Fire Marshal Brad Chris to talk with us about earthquake safety tips. It seems kind of even strange to even be discussing earthquakes.
Yeah, earthquakes obviously aren't something that occur around here very often, but we have felt the effects of 3, I think, over the last several days. And so we want to take this opportunity to talk about a few things that folks can do to prepare for them, and then what to do once one occurs.
Yeah, and I know you felt some of the aftershocks.
Yep, I was at home and felt 2 of the 3. So it's a good time to think about it and to talk a little bit about what we can do to keep folks safe.
Okay, so what can people do to prepare before the next one hits?
Preparation is always ideal. Have a plan, just like you would with a fire escape plan. Know what you're going to do if you're inside of a structure. Know what you're going to do if you're outside of a structure, like in your car. Something as simple as having an emergency preparedness kit, which is something that everybody should have that lives in Kansas anyway, because of ice storms and tornadoes. Be prepared. Have battery-operated radio, have flashlights, having a first aid kit, having food that's non-perishable on hand. Be able to support yourself for several days is all about the preparation.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else they should do to learn more about their house in case another one hits?
Yeah, there are things that you could do in the event that we had a stronger earthquake and there was damage to your house. You need to know how to disconnect your electricity, such as turning it off at the main on your breaker. Know how to turn your gas off. It takes a wrench, and there's a quarter-turn valve on the outside gas meter, and you simply turn it off, or at your propane tank, if you have a propane tank, turn the valve off. Know how to disconnect your utilities, just in case.
Mm-hmm, that's a good idea. Now, what do you do if it actually strikes here in Wichita, or we have really bad aftershocks? What do you do in the middle of that situation?
Right. There are fault lines close to Sedgwick County. In fact, there's one in Butler County. So if an earthquake happens and you're inside, there's one of 2 things that you need to do. One, you need to get close to an interior wall in your structure, a load-bearing wall, and stay close to that wall. If you're inside and you can get to like a heavy desk or a heavy table or something that's very sturdy, you could also get underneath that if time permitted. If you're outside, you need to get away from structures. You need to be in an open area, away from trees, away from garages, away from your house, away from a building. Get out in the open and stay out in the open until the tremor stops. If you're in your vehicle, you need to slow down, pull over, and stop, and stay there until the movement stops.
Okay, and then what do you do after it's all over?
Well, the first thing you want to do is check for injuries. Check your family, check your friends, make sure everybody's okay. And if everybody's okay, then you can do an assessment of your house. Walk around the house, look for things like if you smell natural gas, perhaps a line broke somewhere and you need to get that turned off. And of course, if there is an emergency like that, if there's significant structural damage to your home, if you smell a gas leak, or if there are any injuries, call 911. Otherwise, don't call 911. They're going to know that an earthquake hit. So only call 911 if there's an emergency.
Well, that's a really good point, because I know dispatchers reported they were flooded with calls after the last aftershock that we just had.
Right. Folks are going to call 911, and we want to really emphasize that only call 911 if there's an emergency. There's a good chance that the power is going to be out at your home, so there are some things that you can do, such as turning off your major appliances, making sure items are unplugged, notify the electric company that your power's out, but you don't certainly need to call 911 unless there is actually an emergency.
All right, well, thank you so much for the tips.
Thanks for having us in.
All right, and thank you for watching the City 7 News Now update.